anyway, thanks for being here. Good discussion with the Hmong community here in Wausau. And extraordinary needs with extraordinary energy to solve problems. So I'm really happy to be here. Any questions you might have?
I guess tell us a little bit, what are some of the concerns that you heard from the Hmong community here in Wausau?
Well, a lot of issues. One is recognitions of the veterans that fought for the United States during the war, and clearly that's mainly a federal issue. But I think there's some things we can do at the state level to make that recognition. But that morphed into a huge discussion around mental health issues in this area of the state, and particularly their community. And they're hopeful that our budget will provide the resources they need to do a better job. We always struggle with the issues of who provides those services. We have a shortage of mental health providers in the state. Hopefully our budget will change that in a way that's more positive for people that live in Wausau and northern Wisconsin.
There seemed to be a bit of a theme of the Hmong community feeling forgotten or left out by the past administration. You had the gentleman who had the binder who said,
Yes,
I gave this to Governor Walker in 2013.
Sure.
He never responded.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get a lot of requests like this all around the state. How do you make sure the Hmong community isn't forgotten?
Well, and the Hmong community understands too, it is about connecting the dots. It's about housing, it's about economic development, it's about healthcare, it's about education. And we just can't focus on one thing. And so I believe we're at a good point for this meeting to happen. We're in the middle of a budget discussion, and we're asking for some large increases in areas that they're concerned about. But most of that money, frankly, is not earmarked necessarily. And so hearing their needs and issues that are important to them, we can actually make sure that they are able to access some of this money in a way that's helpful for them. So it's very good timing.
Speaking of the budget, there's been some GOP leaders that have said they've been trying to request meetings to go over things. You got plans to make that happen?
Well, absolutely. We'll continue to meet with them, but I will say this: our budget is, in our vernacular, a people's budget. We spent a lot of time going around the state, encouraging people to give input. Now we're spending a lot of time going across the state, encouraging people to be actively involved. That's not to diminish the legislators' view or role in this. Obviously, they have to pass the budget for me to sign. So, absolutely, we will be meeting with legislators. I've been meeting with literally yesterday. I think we met with 30 separate legislators. So it's not that we haven't been engaging, but we're just in the beginning part of this budget process, and so we look forward to meeting with the leadership, and we will do that. But at the present time, we're also spending time with people in the community saying, hey, this is what's at stake, and that's important too.
Last question.
Can I ask you about Lincoln Hills? You had the announcement yesterday about the two regional facilities. Reading some reactions, some lawmakers felt surprised, like they were left out of the loop, and there didn't seem like to be a lot of excitement in those two specific areas for that.
Yeah.
Was that by design, or do you feel that you maybe announced it too soon? Or?
No, we didn't announce it too soon, and frankly, I was part of, in my former job as state superintendent, I was part of that transitional committee that was working on this. So we always, that committee, which many of those legislators were on, actually did select that site in near Appleton, and had one in Milwaukee. That didn't work out, so we had to find another one. So the Appleton area, Fox Valley area, and Milwaukee were always part of that. So maybe they may have forgotten in the meantime, but at the end of the day, those two areas of the state is where we're going to have our first two. We believe that there may be a need for a third one at some point in time too, and so that hasn't even been figured out. So we'll work with them to make sure that we clear up any misunderstandings. But me, as state superintendent, was part of that transition team, and the discussion of Fox Valley and Milwaukee was always a top priority. So we don't believe it's necessarily a huge surprise, but maybe we haven't touched all the bases we should.
Are those the best two sites, at least for the initial two, in your mind still?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And that was the committee's recommendation too. Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate being here. We've got some huge icicles in this town.